Have you ever had that gut feeling that someone was lying to you, but you just couldn't prove it? It's a frustrating situation, right? Well, psychology tells us that when people lie, their minds and bodies often give away tiny signals they can't fully control. These are little clues that can help you see what's really going on beneath the surface. In this video, we're going to dive into the psychological signs that might help you spot a lie. And trust me, you'll want to watch until the very end, because the last point is the most important one to remember. So let's start with the first sign. They give way too much explanation. Think about it. When people tell the truth, their answers are usually simple and straightforward. If you ask a friend where they were last night and they were really at home, they might just say, "Oh, I was just at home, watching a movie." It's direct and clear. But when someone is weaving a lie, they often feel the need to They start explaining way too much, adding all sorts of unnecessary details to make their story sound more convincing and real. It's like they're building a complex stage set for a play that never happened. Remember, truth doesn't need extra decoration. Lies often do. If you notice someone giving you a novel when a simple sentence would do, it might be a sign they're trying to sell you a story, not share a fact. Now for our second point, a noticeable pause before answering. Truth comes from memory. It's stored in your brain, ready to be accessed. When you ask someone a question they can answer truthfully, the information is usually right there. Lies, on the other hand, are often created in the moment. They have to be invented, constructed, and checked for consistency right on the spot. That's why people who are lying often take a brief but significant pause before they answer even a simple question. It might look like they're thinking, but what their brain is really doing is working overtime. It's busy creating a story, not recalling a reality. That little moment of silence can be the sound of a lie being born. So, pay attention to those hesitations. They might be telling you more than the words that follow. Let's move on to the third sign. Sudden changes in body language. Our bodies often communicate what our words try to hide. When someone is being honest and relaxed, their body language is usually consistent and open, but when they lie, their body might betray them. You might notice their body language suddenly change. For example, they might start avoiding eye contact, looking away as if they can't face you. Or they might do the opposite and stare too intensely, trying to Their hand movements might become excessive and frantic, or they might suddenly become very stiff and still, almost like a statue. These physical reactions are usually unconscious. It's the body's natural response to the stress and internal conflict of telling a lie. It's as if their body is screaming, "Something isn't right here." The fourth sign is all about the sound of their voice. Lying creates internal pressure. You're nervous, you're trying to remember details, and you're worried about getting caught. All that stress can have a direct impact on your voice. The tone might suddenly get higher or lower. Their speech might become much faster as they rush to get the lie over with. Or it might become unusually slow and deliberate as they carefully choose each word. They might also speak much louder than normal, or their voice might drop to a whisper. These shifts are natural physiological responses to feeling nervous or stressed. So, listen closely, not just to what they are saying, but how they are saying it. A change in vocal tone can be a powerful clue that you're really not hearing the whole truth. Our fifth point is a little trick you can use. Ask the same question again, but in a slightly different way. Truth is stable. It comes from a single memory. So, if you ask a truthful person the same question multiple times, even with different wording, their answers will be consistent. The core facts won't change. Lies, however, have to be remembered. The liar has to keep track of the details they invented. This is where they can easily slip up. If you ask the same question later in the conversation, maybe phrased a little differently, their answers might change. They might forget a detail they mentioned earlier, or add a new one that contradicts the original story. Remember, the truth stays the same, but lies require a good memory. Any inconsistencies could be a red flag. Next up, point number 6. Overacting their emotions. Have you ever seen someone get way too defensive or emotional over a simple question? Genuine emotions usually fit the situation, but when some people lie, they overact. They put on a show. They might show unnecessary anger, trying to make you feel bad for even asking. Or they might fake an over-the-top display of innocence, acting shocked that you would ever doubt them. This extreme emotional drama is often a deliberate tactic. It's designed to distract you, to shift the focus from the facts to their feelings, and to make you back off. They're trying to control the situation with an emotional outburst. When the emotional reaction seems much bigger than the situation calls for, it might be a performance designed to hide a lie. Point 7 is a classic escape tactic. Changing the topic. When a particular line of questioning feels uncomfortable or dangerous, a liar's first instinct is often to get away from it. They'll do anything to steer the conversation in a different direction. They might suddenly crack a joke to lighten the mood and break the tension, or they might abruptly bring up a completely unrelated subject, hoping you'll follow them down that new path and forget your original question. This avoidance is a common psychological defense mechanism. If you find that every time you get close to a sensitive topic, they skillfully pivot to something else, it's a strong sign they are avoiding the truth because it makes them deeply uncomfortable. They don't want to be there, and they're showing you with their actions. And now for our 8th point, the specific words they use. Psychology shows that the language we choose can also reveal a lot. Liars often use certain qualifying words and phrases to create distance from the lie and to try and sound more credible. Pay attention to words like honestly, basically, to be honest, or I swear. It's ironic, isn't it? People who are actually being honest don't usually feel the need to announce it. They also might use vague language and words like maybe, sort of, or I guess, because it gives them an out. These words are often used unconsciously to cover up uncertainty, to buy time, and to try to gain your trust while they're being deceptive. Now, before we wrap up, we need a very important reality check. It's crucial to understand that one single sign does not automatically prove someone is lying. Anyone can be nervous for a variety of reasons. Someone might avoid eye contact because they're shy. Someone might pause because they're tired. Someone might fidget because they just have a lot of energy. These psychological signs are most meaningful when you notice them as a pattern, especially when someone's behavior deviates from their normal baseline. The key is to look for clusters of these signs and changes from their usual way of acting. Don't jump to conclusions based on a single, isolated moment. Always consider the context and the person. So, the next time you're talking with someone, try not to listen only with your ears. Don't just hear their words. Pay attention to the whole picture. Notice their body language, their tone of voice, their hesitations, and their emotional reactions. The mind can construct an elaborate lie, but the body often whispers the truth. It's in these subtle, unconscious signals that you might find what you're really looking for. If you found this video useful and learned something new, do me a favor and comment the word psychology down below. And let us know, have you ever noticed these signs in your own life? We'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into the human mind. See you next time.